What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got more Miles Morales Spider-Man. This time with issue number 24. And if you missed the last issue of this series, which started this current Birds of a Feather story arc, then I put up a link at the top of your screen. And I put up a card at the end of the video as well for you to it. But when we left off with this series, Miles has started to lose himself to his lust for blood as his venom energy was found to be burning through the magic spell that Dr. Strange used to keep his vampirism at bay, causing Miles to go overboard when he fights. And not only that, the issue ended with Miles' lady Tiana Toombs coming face to face with her grandfather, the Vulture. So if you guys are ready to find out how a Vamp Rage and Miles reacts when he sees one of the fiercest rogues in any Spider-Man gallery, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So we kick this issue off right where the last one ended, with Starling and the Vulture atop her roof. And right now, Adrian Toombs is the last person Tiana had expected to see, especially since she had just invited Miles to come over. But the Vulture is here because he wants the chance to explain himself. Although Tiana doesn't want to hear what he has to say. He's a killer and she cannot excuse him. And although he continues to try, she wants nothing to do with him. But the Vulture blames Spider-Man for getting in between them. Tiana, though, shoots down that theory as she's smart enough to form her own opinions without any help from Spider-Man. But Vulture feels like she doesn't fully understand what it's like to be a part of the lives of the Spider People. They get to enjoy the glory, while those closest to them are left to pay the price. He knows he's hurt people. There's no disputing that. But game recognized game. Or maybe I should say broken people recognize broken people, because that's what he sees in them. And wherever they go, they leave death and disappointment in their wake. They constantly talk about power and responsibility, but they still can't protect their loved ones. And that's not a life he wants for his granddaughter, and he vows to handle Spidey himself. But if you remember the last issue, Tiana had just talked about how much she loves Miles, so you know she's not gonna just let the Vulture roll up and threaten her boo thing. And she ups her trank gun on him. But Adrian doubts her and calls her bluff. And although she threatens to shoot, he turns his back to her anyway. Then he apologizes to her for lying to her in the past, plus everything he's done to her and for what he plans to do to Spidey. But as angry as Tiana is, she can't bring herself to pull that trigger, and she lowers that weapon. But like clockwork, guess who arrives? That's right. Big Miles shows up with a bloodlust ready to punch on someone, and Vulture looks like the perfect candidate for him, and he comes in like a madman. He's happy to see the Vulture, he tells him. It's been a rough day, and he's ready to take it all out on Vulture, and he webs in and knocks the stuffing out of the bird villain, and then proceeds to put the beat down on him quite thoroughly. He even goes max power on his Venom Blast. He really wants the Vulture to feel this ass whooping. And when he releases the energy right in the back of the Vulture, he's sent crashing down. Miles even thinks to himself that he just felt one of the Vulture's ribs cracking, while the voice in Miles' head tells him that the Vulture deserves this. And I'm reminded by what one of you guys mentioned in the comments of the last video, that Miles' vampire run is kind of akin to when Peter wore the Black Venom symbiote the first time around. And I really like that analogy. But as Miles administers this epic beatdown, he feels himself losing control, but he can't stop himself. And now the Vulture has no clue what's going on and how Spider-Man is whooping on him so easily. He's fought Spider-Man plenty of times before, but this time is different. And his movements are too difficult to track. But Miles just won't let up, and he continues to pour it on while taunting him. But then the Vulture blames Miles' advantage on being caught off guard. So Miles decides to give him a second to gather himself, and then he challenges the Vulture to bring it on. But then Vulture is once again shocked when Miles breaks out his Venom sword and threatens to clip the Vulture's wings. And now Vulture's like, a sword? Oh, hell no! And then Miles actually cuts his wings. Brutal. Is it wrong that I kind of like this Miles even more now? But now Miles' lust for blood begins to tell him that it's time to feed. And for a moment, Miles gets ready to give in. But then the voice of reason steps in in the form of Tiana telling Miles to get back, which kind of makes him snap out of it. And now he knows he's gone too far, as he tries to apologize to Tiana for going after him so hard. Meanwhile, the Vulture uses this moment as an example of his argument, and he tells her that following him will lead to nothing but pain. And then he pulls a flashbang and sets it off before retreating. And Miles figures that he can use his spider sensing to find him. But Tiana doesn't let him go. They need to talk about what just happened. You might be stupid sometimes, she tells him, but not usually punch first, ask questions later, stupid. And when they last talked, Miles told her that he was going through it. So now it's time to explain. Because if he's about to go all emo, then she's not going to let him take her down with. And he once again apologizes. But to make things worse, Miles gets a phone call right in the middle of their conversation that he has to take, which just pisses off Tiana even more. But Miles' one saving grace is that Misty Knight's call to Miles is an open projection that she can see and hear, and gives an update on Miles' condition that Tiana knew nothing about. But Misty needs Miles to get to the safe house so Doc Sasquatch can explain his findings to Miles. They haven't quite found a cure yet, but she thinks that they do have some solutions that'll take him in the right direction. So now Tiana is super lost, and she finally asks what's going on. And that's when Misty tells her that Miles was turned into a vampire. And when Miles hangs up the phone, Tiana starts to walk away. But when Miles asks where she's going, she responds that she's going to get her suit. Miles got him a real one, y'all. Hopefully he doesn't mess that up. But as they head to meet up with Misty, Tiana asks Miles if he's drunk any blood yet. And he replies to her no, but he admits that it's getting harder and harder to resist each day, leading Tiana to now understand why Miles went after Vulture like he did. But when Miles and Tiana get to the safe house, they're met by Misty Knight and the protege of Doc Sasquatch, Dr. Quan. See, Quan was sent by Sasquatch to be the point of contact for Miles' case. And right now his venom energy is what's suppressing his vampiric urges. And his biology, which is different than the other spider people, is also helping. And if he limits his venom energy, then he should be okay for now. But unfortunately, the thing that they're having trouble understanding is Strange's spell. But Misty made a call to someone else that she thinks can help. And when he shows up, Miles and Tiana are quite flabbergasted as the Black Panther is revealed. See, if you got a chance to check out the Blood Hunt event, and it'll be a link to the playlist at the end of the video, but Black Panther too was turned into a vampire, although he was cured using the heart-shaped herb. And I don't think he's going to share that with Miles, so this should be interesting. But he reminds Miles that he too dealt with the same affliction. But he basically lets Miles know that it's only going to get harder from here. Meanwhile, we pick up with Vulture, who's reeling from his fight with Spider-Man. And he's pissed that Spidey just stole his family from him, then embarrassed him in front of his granddaughter. And he's ready to end it all as he walks into his hideout and accesses a secret room. And then says that it's time to show Spidey what it means to be a bird of prey, as we then see him suited up in another set of wings, because it's about to go down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think about the issue? And how you feeling about the vampire Miles right now? I gotta be honest, he's kind of growing on me more and more, especially looking at it as his black suit arc. I really did like that analogy. But I'm curious as to what kind of help Black Panther will offer. Because like I said, he had a heart-shaped herb help him out. And not to mention a whole god in his corner with Bast. So this will be interesting. But you guys know I want to hear all your thoughts and theories about it down in the comments. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you could do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking you up some Comics Icons merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video available for download. Or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership, and there'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, you'll get loyalty badges, member shoutouts, and up to 20% off of Comics Icons merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And even the chance to pick a video of your choice for me to post. Plus, we've got tiers to the memberships as well, beginning at just 99 cents. Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still help this channel's future out tremendously by dropping a like. share, and subscribe in the Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out. Peace.